We're here on the Wrestling Chatter talking about the second best match of SummerSlam 2015. We got Steve Kaufmann, we got Adam Woods here. So I asked you guys, what was the second best match of SummerSlam 2015?
I'll start off. The second best match of SummerSlam 2015 was The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Yes, that was 17 minutes and 50 seconds. Yes, it ended in a technical knockout, which some would call that a no finish. But these are two big houses going at it. No holds barred. I think it was the second best match of the night. It was second to Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. Oh, I see the face, George.
I think that match is overrated. But go ahead, Adam.
That was almost a Eric Bischoff styled, retort, I guess, right? But with that all being said, I'm going to say I'm actually going to agree with Steve here. Kevin Owens and Cesaro. Not only, we were kind of talking off air. Obviously, Kevin Owens just had a ladder match the night before, right? One. And then the placement of this match, right? In the sense that they were, in a, what is it? Like, how many people were in that PCB Team Bad, Team Bella match? And it was
a 9-woman tag match.
Yes. And 2 of them were Bellas. So
yes,
that's to tell you everything.
Match.
Are you hold on. Are you a Bella Twins hater?
No. I just every time Bree mode happens, somebody gets on the DL. Yeah, not the direct message. It's like they basically get their nose shattered, their whatever. Every time Bree mode happens,
Dude, 4 times that happened.
Yeah, okay, she's a more legit shooter than Bryan Danielson. So how about that? Oof. Yes. So with that all being said, again, Cesaro and Kevin Owens was a nice, this one should have been like the go to, the bathroom, get popcorn break, in between that 9-women, multi-woman match and Undertaker and Brock, the headlining fight. But it was so much more of a masterpiece. It got actually a little over a minute less than the aforementioned ladies match, and then 2 to 3 minutes less than the main event, which also kind of shows how much faith that the WWE, or at least the agents putting together this match, had in these 2 performers. So absolutely.
So one more time, Adam, you think the second best was Cesaro Kevin Owens?
Yes.
And Steve, you thought it was Undertaker Brock Lesnar, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just one. I got a little confused out there.
Are our 1s and 2s just mixed up? Adam, what do you think was number 1?
Number 1 was, I'm going to say Ryback Big Show.
Oh my God.
We out here roasting woods, y'all.
Dude, given that Stephen A. Smith energy, I'm just saying.
Man, he runs the channel and you got him speechless. Look at this. You broke him. You broke StreamYard. You broke Zoom.
You know what the problem is, and people aren't really here for my opinion, but maybe they are. Who knows? I think this is what separates. I don't. Obviously, we're all intelligent people. I'm not trying to badmouth anybody, but I think this is what separates maybe some fans with some other fans, is where like a finish of a match. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me I'm wrong. A finish of a match can ruin the whole match for you guys. So I look at a match like Seth Rollins and John Cena, who I thought was tearing the house down, to be honest with you. And I think that was the best match of the night. But I think a lot of people saw like, what the hell is Jon Stewart doing here? And just because of like a storyline, an angle that they were trying to do to get obviously publicity, because I remember it did get a lot of mainstream buzz. Oh, what is this? They're trying to be too much mainstream. Oh, that match is garbage. So I'm a little surprised neither one of you gave any love to John Cena versus Seth Rollins, but maybe that's just me as a fan and how I look at a match. Was that something that maybe the finish and Jon Stewart getting involved in that match, did it ruin it for you guys or something?
Yes, that match was a hat on a hat already. Because Seth Rollins being the most over heel in the company didn't necessarily mean he needed to become U.S. champion, on top of being world champion, on top of having J&J security, on top of being Triple H's golden boy, on top of Jon Stewart coming in to effectively his defense. And when did we see Jon Stewart again?
The next night on Raw.
But after that, when did we see, or did we build, next time we saw Jon Stewart after that?
On the Daily Show.
But like
but I'm saying, guess what was featured on the Daily Show? WWE SummerSlam, John Cena, Seth Rollins. That's what they want. They're not looking to get Jon Stewart to get involved every single week on TV. They're looking for WWE to be involved in the Daily Show, which is a highly rated show that was on back then. So
why involve him that way?
Why not?
Question.
Because Stephen Amell wasn't doing the job.
I mean, he also needed to put his hands up. That was the only thing. And I think if you were to Google AfterBuzz TV SummerSlam 2015 after show, you would find George and I making a lot of the same points because that's what we did in 2015. And give me one.
And I thought you were being ridiculous. And not only that, because we can still hear you, Steve. You can still hear us.
Yes.
That people did not disagree with me. You can see in the comment section and say, I actually agree with George. That match was very underwhelming. I think that because, and I'm guilty of it too, right? Where we see certain names involved in certain matches, especially against each other, coming from their background, coming from where they came from, Ring of Honor, CZW, PWG. We actually feel bad for saying that person had a bad match. I don't think we really criticize it that much, but I remember during AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, everybody was saying like, oh, what a great set of matches these were. They were okay. They could have been a lot better maybe in a different federation, different company, but I feel like a lot of us, quote unquote, indie fans, we feel bad for saying, oh, that wasn't the best match of the night because of who's involved, because we feel guilty for saying, no, Kevin Owens was not in the best match. John Cena was, because God forbid we're a John Cena mark. God forbid we're a John Cena fan, because the cool thing is to hate on John Cena. The cool thing is to love the indie guys, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. My theory, I'm probably wrong. I'm probably right. But I do feel like on many cases, well, it's still John Cena, but I still feel like in some cases, people feel bad, or people did feel guilty for criticizing a match that featured some of these glorified indie guys.
Not necessarily, right? I mean, going back to the finish, destroying a amazing match. Not an amazing match, but more than decent, right?
But that doesn't take it away, though. It's still you were still invested in the actual match. Yes, maybe it went down a few notches because of the finish, but that shouldn't take away from the match itself was still amazing.
Okay, so let me say this. So this particular match with Seth Rollins and John Cena, and the ending was 2015's Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins Extreme Rules Horror Show, right? Mm-hmm. Excellent match, crap finish, crappy stipulation, and that actually negates, if you looked at the casual pro wrestling or WWE audience, right? That just flips in, flips out, on a particular pay-per-view or whatever. Do they remember an amazing match? No, they remember Jon Stewart. Do they imagine an amazing match with Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio? No, it's just, what were the memes? Mysterio getting his eye gouged, right? So with that all being said, in terms of the lasting effort, it doesn't matter what happens before, but when the fans are leaving home and talking about it in their cars and what have you, they're talking about the crap show that they had. And that negates the rating of this match for me.
First off, none of the fans went home after the eye for an eye match and say this match sucked, because there were no fans in that building.
The extras did, and they probably complained about being cordoned off to a separate catering tent.
Actually, weren't some of the NXT people getting COVID after it? They should have. They should have. I'm just saying.
They were getting COVID tests.
Well, this is the most heated,
else, and I like it.
This is the most heated I've been since we started this channel. But in the meantime, if people want to get heated at you, Adam Woods, where can people find you? Because I know you're wrong. I know each one of you. I know you're both wrong as far as the second best match. But I mean, maybe you're right about the second best match. I just think Kevin Owens Cesaro wasn't that great. But where can people disagree with me? Where can people or agree with you and then disagree with me?
According to Woods on everything, pretty much. Yeah.
And I'm Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. Jump in my mentions about any of this, including Stephen Amell needs to put his hands up. That was the only thing he was missing. It looked like choreography instead of just him putting his hands up once he lands on his feet. That's all he needed to convince me that he was in a real fight.
And if you want to agree with me, disagree with me, I know I'm right. You can follow me at Ghermoza, Ghermoza. But more importantly, I want you guys to comment down below because I want to know what you guys think about what the second best match. And was Kevin Owens and Cesaro that great? Am I the one missing something? I don't think so, but tell me I'm wrong, and we'll go from there.
Hey, it's Christy Olson. If you like this video as much as I did, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so they can join in the wrestling chatter too. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and follow the show on Twitter at TW Chatter. See you next time.